Okay, so obviously I know there's a problem with the full-size screen horseshit. Hopefully we can get it to the point where it works, because last time I did this, it was a matter of just clicking Alt-Tab and tabbing back in and then just fluking into it. So bear with me here, if you can, while I get this shit going. And it sucks I have to do this, but I guess Heat's finicky like that. It's goofy. Not happy with it, obviously. Oh, something worked there. So I'm going to let it idle here for a bit until hopefully it works. Again, I get kind of nervous that it's not working. Anyway, while we are dicking around here... Oh, nice, it does work. While we're dicking around here waiting for the tape delay feed to show up on my YouTube app on my phone, which it is, and everything's looking good now, welcome to another evening of Need for Speed Heat. This time we've actually got a theme to this. I've fully completed the game, fully unlocked everything, got to the point where we've done a stream just showing off the game. It's a very, very good game. I do suggest, if you've been on the fence about Need for Speed over the past few years, you have every right to be, but this is the good one, made by Ghost. So, I figured a fun little goal would be to try and hit the sub 7 minute mark on the longest race of the game, which is the Discovery track. I don't know, it's showing some of the wrong liveries on my car. That was weird, and it's still doing that. Yeah, the lighting is really fucked up right now, and I don't know why. But anyways, like I said, I want to challenge myself on the longest race in the game. I've gotten my personal best lap time down to a 7:01. So why not, instead of just doing it offline, why not do it online and see if we can hit that lap on a stream? So right now we are in the OP car of the early days of NFS Heat, which is the 1973 Porsche. You engine swap it with a more modern engine and then just install all the best parts, and it's extremely fast. Much faster than the other hypercars in this game, which is interesting, but whatever. Okay. Audio is playing, good audio check. Yeah, anyway, this is the quickest car in the game. It's been like that since Need for Speed 2015, when they first started putting these games out on the PS4 or Xbox 360 consoles. Just, I guess the car's lightweight, and the engine swaps you can do make it extremely quick. Again, quicker than the hypercars, which kind of borks the game a bit, because again, I have the FXXK Evo in the background, and this car is like a couple seconds quicker than it, which is strange. Anyway, we'll take this car and we will go on the longest track in the game, which is a race only available at night, and see if we can hit a sub 7 minute lap time. So we'll get going here. This is based on Dale Jr.'s Daytona 500 car from 2004. I obviously took creative liberty with the logos because I don't want to sit there all day doing fake NASCAR logos. It's not fun. We are in an online session just to make things interesting. There are a fuck ton of cops flying around. So the Discovery race is What area is this? On the west side portion of the map, which ironically is mostly the eastern side. We'll fast travel to the nearest garage. So the meta for this car, again, all parts, Ultimate Plus when where possible, or Elite, or Ultimate, or Super where possible. 5 3-pound nitro shots because the straightaways just aren't long enough at these speeds for the really big ones. Nitrous power bonus, and I'm driving an auto transmission. But I assume we could go even quicker in manual, but we don't have wheel support yet, so I probably won't run manual until there's wheel support. Big trick though is to run a hood cam because it reduces the sense of speed and it makes things extremely easy to predict versus the cinematic effects when you're driving in chase view. As for car setup and live tuning, I'm running an Xbox One pad, so I turned the steering sensitivity down just a couple ticks from high. On a PS4 pad, because there's more dead zone control, you can run higher sensitivity. Downforce for grip build, you want to run it high as always. TC, always want to run on if you're using anything track-based, and drift style is gas, because you don't want the car to start drifting when you get on the brakes very important. You want to drive this as close to a real car as possible, which sounds stupid in Need for Speed, but you'll see what I mean. You want proper racing lines and all that. So here's our event. Again, we are online. We could get fucked over at any time, but that's kind of the fun of it. Won't even bother inviting others. This is a really fun car to paint, to make. Didn't take very long, and it ended up looking really, really good. So I'm happy about that. So, first attempt. Hopefully we won't have to grind this out too much. We are green. Again, we are hoping for a lap time in the 6-minute range. We'll be very liberal with our NOS boost coming out of corners, but we do have to save every now and then. First major braking point, hug the inside. Nitro boost out of here because we lose a lot of speed. Again, we bled some speed, so we got a boost. Really didn't want to go back down to no nitrous, but it happens. Into the switchbacks. Very fun sector 1 of this track. I believe we're at the northern point of the map right now, heading westbound. I've done somewhat okay at saving NOS, but we do have a couple of recharges available on the pass. So we'll use one of those now. Because the Sector 2 portion of this track is pretty wide open, so we can afford to burn up NOS early. Because we were on wide open for so long in Sector 2 that the car just sits at like 370. I think the max speed in this thing is 378. So we sit pretty close to that range for most of Sector 2, and you'll see it when it comes up here in about a minute. These parts are sketchy because the car tends to tip over and lose front downforce. Like there. So you have to security lift like an Indy car. And we've bounced off a car. We ruined a bit of our lap time. Cop chase will not be an issue. Already we're about to escape him.
I got a nice ride at my sights. Gonna take him off the road. Got a driver out there that needs taken down. I want everyone to
And this is right here, your sector 2, where the car will just sit at the speed because you're so wide open through the industrial dock section that you don't need nitro. But of course we go on the grass there to cut the corner, so that's our cue to use some nitro to get back up to speed. And let the car naturally build speed afterwards. That's basically the big secret so far, is anytime you have to slow down to just boost out of the corners. Again, the super high downforce is making this thing stick at high speed, so it's really just point and shoot for this next portion. I would say this is Sector 3 of 5, maybe? Where you're on the eastern portion of the map, you cross one of the, I think, the longest bridge in the game. As long as you hug the center line and don't weave in between lanes, you're pretty much good through here. Again, we're holding steady at 374. We'll be coming up on the main bridge soon. Here it is right here. Lots of time to see cars coming ahead of you. Don't need the booster here. But this sector here gets technical. Start having to make some blind corners. The vehicle lights blend in a bit with the center islands there. Couple S's. Back on the gas, back on the nitro. Another corner cut. There's a shorter bridge up here, I believe, then a hard left, which can fuck you. Got through relatively okay there, aside from tapping the wall. Lots of 45 corners here and 90 corners. Pretty good line through there, actually. Quick little chicane through here. This can fuck you. Traffic's in the wrong place, which it's not, so we're actually doing pretty good. There's a fellow autist on the online server. Forgot to honk my horn at him. We'll recharge our NOS again. So we've burned out all our recharges, which is a power-up you can buy for about 30k in this game. The ability to recharge your NOS. Nice corner cut there. Into the, I guess, the downtown core of Palm City. Car's starting to spawn only 100 feet in front of us right now. Not very good. We go up onto the cliffside here a bit, and we come back down through this S on the highway. We smash into a Dodge Charger, which is going to end our run. But we'll see what we can come out with here. Maybe we can salvage it. We'll gamble with a boost. Just mashing A at this point because we got one corner left. Cut the corner. And we're going to clock in at a 7-minute and 55-second pass, or a 46-second pass. For attempt number 1, we got fucked by that Dodge Charger in the final sector there, but that's expected. It's a street racing game. That is why these are not played out on paper. So, because I've used all my recharges for the Nitro power-up, unfortunately we're going to have to go back to a garage, and this is kind of the shitty part. That's because I can't restart because it's a night race and they want you to play the police chases. So, apparently we are still in a cop chase now. The nice thing is these cars are so ungodly quick that it's just a matter of driving back to the garage and you'll lose them naturally. So Not too concerned about it.
They outran us all.
So pretty good opening pass for the stream. We made maybe 2 or 3 mistakes. There's a small contact with a traffic car, and then in the final sector, our run was basically screwed by the cop car. But again, that's why it's kind of fun to play online, because if you avoid those, you look pretty based. So we see Need for Speed Heat's classic texture errors here, where we load into the garage and it's not showing any of my liveries, and we will just go right back out there. What button do I hit? You know what? I'm still learning the controls after 50 hours, which is kind of sad, but it'd be like that. So we'll go back to the nearest garage again. Is that the nearest garage? Yeah. Want to leave the garage? No. Set it to night. Off we go. So 7-minute flat, 0.46. I don't think that's bad for opening run. I did do some practice before I jumped on the stream here, just so I'm not dog shit. But again, it's a really fun track, the Discovery Sprint. It is split up into 3 segments. If you're going through the game, what's it called? If you're going through the game normally, they don't put you on the Behemoth right away. They put you on the 3 like Discovery ABC sprint tracks. So some people have probably done them already, or done parts of them just through career mode. So we will go right back for attempt number 2, which is not looking good because there's cop cars around us, but YOLO. Pretty shitty that one mistake ended our run, but again, that's street racing in this shit. So, same tactic, we'll boost off the start 2 or 3 times based on what the pack's doing. And we will take the outside line going into 1, and usually we can clear all the AI cars that way. So we're green. Boost a bunch off the line, give it one more shot of nitro. Pack's nice and spread out, we can get a decent line into 1. Look at us go. Good opening set of corners. We are green for attempt number 2. Let the nitro recharge itself on the front, on the first, I guess this would be the front stretch. As we go into our first major braking point, the roundabout here. Lots of tracks use this corner complex. First nitro refill, I'll gamble and use it early. It's a pretty aggressive line, but I was slowed up by the dirt. So you do slow down driving on dirt in this. I know it's kind of hard to tell at these speeds, but it's noticeable. Get a much better entry into the switchbacks than last time. We had to run wide because of the traffic car. So things are looking promising on this attempt. Almost clipped a car there. That would have been a run over right away. Not getting the torque I wanted from the gearing out of the corner. Auto tranny put me in 6th instead of 5th, so that's not good. Big yikes through there. Use one shot of nitro to try and get up to 370, which we do. Let the nitro recharge on the straightaway, and we can usually run without NOS through this sector, so I'm not too concerned yet. Two shots of NOS saved, so we'll use 1. Extremely lucky through there, we banked ourselves off a car. Don't think we need another shot since the car's already at 370. Pretty decent run so far. Down into the more industrial section. Got a security lift to get around the ambulance. Big yikes through there. That car always spawns at the exact same time. So you have to enter that corner wide. Trying to save my NOS yet. Don't want to go too quick because we're coming up on the security lift section. These off-camber corners. Car gets light through them. Gets on two wheels there. And there's a second one up here. If you do take it too fast, you shoot off into the trees, which is not good. We will say hello to our fellow autist this time, as he is, or he was, right next to us. Car is at 370, so we can use this time to let the nitro recharge. Again, really important here. Decent run so far. We're going to come up on a cop. He'll be on our right side. But we are way too fast for him. Braking zone early, 90-degree corner. We'll get back on the throttle and back on the nitro. Might be worth boosting a couple more times there. A physics glitch there. Car popped a wheelie, one of the traffic cars. Pretty good run so far. Making good time, not having to use nitro, which means we can save later. I guess this would be the wetlands area, or parts of it. Still learning the map, still learning the names. I probably rushed through this game too fast to the point where I didn't learn enough about it. Like in terms of story and canon, just what things are. Onto the bridge, get a nice little break and rest the eyes. Lots of time to see cars in front of us, about halfway through the race. Actually, no, it's 70%. My math is bad. Sorry, boys. Wide open through the left-hander kink. Be a bit more aggressive than last attempt. Right on the shoulder here. Gotta cross over because there's a right-hand kink coming up. No traffic in the oncoming lane, so we can just track out properly. Same thing with here. The cops come to say hi. Over the crest on the bridge. Gotta roll through the corner to be smart about it. Took out the wall. That was a second or two that we just lost, but nothing more. Aggressive cut there. Need to get that time back. Getting interesting now. Another aggressive left-hander. Bounced off the wall, so we'll use one of our save nitro, and that's why you save nitro. Into the chicane. Brake early for the 90 right. Got out of there pretty well, actually. We still have a nitro refill left over, which is pretty good for this long into the run. .370, big kink, left-hander, no traffic to deal with. Use our final nitro, and when that ends, we'll recharge it. Burn our last recharge. One boost to get up to 370 as we go into as we go into the 90 right up on the hillside. No traffic again. One car in the oncoming lane, two cars in the oncoming lane. We'll cut back down the switchback. Ride the wall. So suboptimal line through there. And there's a Dodge Magnum in our way. Or is it a Dodge Caliber? But hopefully we've... And a BMW in our way. Holy shit. Choke, choke, choke. Be aggressive as we can here. It's not letting me boost. We are 2 seconds slower. Fuck. That's impressive, man, though, to run wide open for 7 minutes and you're a second slower. That's the wrong button. Go back to the hideout, recharge our nitro boost. It's close, man. It's very, very close, which is fun. I like this shit. It's like speed running, except not speed running. And compared to sim racing, where you have a pristine track and no traffic and I don't want to say unlimited attempts, but there's nothing really to keep you occupied. Whereas this, it's like you're on the edge for 7 minutes, dodging traffic and cops and other players. It's fun. And I know there's a lot of people who don't like Need for Speed or kind of look down on simcade games or arcade games, but I don't know, it's pretty wild. So we'll go for attempt number 3 after the, I think it's a Dodge Caliber. They're like those really shitty crossovers from the late 2000s. My old buddy's mom had one. But sometimes, yeah, you get cut by the traffic cars and there's nothing you can do. But the amount of near misses we had during that lap, I think our luck was going to run out at some point, so I'm not particularly mad. 6 people now, thanks for coming out and watching me grind through the longest race in the game. Play solo, because no one's going to want to race with us. We are in the OP car. And we will try attempt number 3. Hopefully stream's looking good, audio's looking good for you guys. Here we go. Wait for the car to hook up, get back on the nitro. Clear most of the pack, so that's good already. Had to take an alternate line because there were traffic cars. Got really lucky through there. There's a cop car, a couple more traffic cars. That's pretty eventful. We're going to recharge early, get back on the nitro. Not what I wanted to do, but it happens. On the brakes hard, turn 1. Or, I guess your proper turn 1. I have to brake for it. The other ones I don't have to brake for, so I almost don't consider them corners. This would be, I guess, turn 2. Good line through there. Didn't lose a lot of speed. This is an interesting lap so far. Promising. Auto trying to use our friend right now. Picking the right gears for us. That red car was a surprise over the hill, but we got very lucky. We're also lucky enough to save our nitro just for the right time. We don't have to use a refill on the main straight here. I think there's a hideout to your left there. So I remember running this road a lot. Through the uphill S's, first off camber corner, security lift so the car doesn't get light and catch air. That was almost race over, but you know in Need for Speed to run mostly the center of the road on the yellow line to avoid cars. You never want to start cutting the inside of corners or anything like that because it's just not worth it, not worth the risk. Cross traffic there, but we spotted it early. No car on the inside. 9 times out of 10 I've run this track, there's a car on the inside of that corner. Come up to, I believe, our first off-camber corner. A little bit of IndyCar style security lift, put a tire on the grass, which is suboptimal. Almost got taken out, almost hit a car again. Just part of the game. Back on the nitro, let's build some more speed up. Probably burn another one. Yep, we'll burn another one. Thread the needle. You don't want to hit that jump, at least at this speed, because you'll just end up resetting the car. I've tried it before, it was a big mistake. It was fun though. Through the industrial section. Again, wide open, car grips like a motherfucker with the high downforce. Thread the needle again because we're cool. 90-degree right, crank the handbrake, back on the nitro. I think we'll burn 2 or 3 here. Get our speed back up. I'm satisfied with this run so far. Fully expect to choke it away, but it'd be like that. Chokes are fun at this speed because you just wreck the shit out of yourself. Like, I like crashing in racing games when it's like you're running flat out, because then you can kind of sit back and be like, that was cool. We've got some friends that want to join us, but we are too fast for them. At pretty good cruising speed right now. I'm not sure what 376 translates into miles an hour, but I want to say it's like 220, 230 range. So we're hauling right now. That was lucky because I couldn't see, and I was lucky those objects were non-collidable, or I guess had no weight to them. Big braking zone coming up. We'll fucking send it.
All units, we've located the previous suspect and picked up the pursuit.
Let off a bit too much speed there. We'll get back on the nitro. We don't hit the wall for the first time that night. It's promising. No car on the inside of that corner. Aggressive cut. We missed the car, but we hit the wall. Cheeky. Almost get T-boned by a cop car. You want to count the near misses in this one? Into the high-speed braking zone. Ride height's a little too low. You can adjust that, and it does have an effect, which is kind of interesting. Hello, Mr. Traffic Car. That's not where you turn. Coming up on our next left, which is a high-speed braking zone. Car's clear out for us, it's good. We'll recharge our NOS for a final time. Hello. Try and get our speed back up as we rip through downtown. Hello. Please don't turn there. Hello. We have things to do. So, is that a Chevy Astrovan that pulled in front of us? On the braking zone. Car bobbles a bit. Again, the ride height's a bit too low. I don't think we've let off too much speed there. Here's where we ended run 2 last time. Caliber's on the inside of the corner, so we'll boost out of it. Cheat and run through the gas station to refill the nitro. And we finish with a 702, maybe? Yep, 702.16. Ah, shit. So we went slower with what I think were less mistakes. Get out of here. I don't think that was the worst run.
Our cars can't keep pace with us. I have visual on the suspect's car.
I guess it's almost quicker to drive to this and chase to enter. Fuck you.
Get out there and find that damn car.
Just mash RB now. Yep.
That's enough for one night. Get some rest.
Stream's good. How's physics though? It's an NFS game. It's refined compared to the last Ghost games though. Physics must be good because he likes the game, correct. I wish this game had drag racing, also correct. Ah, shit. You know, I think the start burned me to some extent. where I burned up all my nitro off the start. I think that kind of fucked me. 223, that's not bad. Eight people watching me grind out a sprint race. Damn. Oh, I fucked up. Forgot to load in tonight. Yeah, it's a really good, like, there's been a lot of problems with the Ghost games over the years, just with weird physics oddities and like hidden assists that try and take control from you. They ironed a lot of stuff out for this game, which makes it a lot more fun to play. So what is this, attempt 4 or 5? Doesn't matter. So again, trying to get into the 6-minute range on the longest track in the game, which is very close to happening, as you can see. I do want to get out of here to see the premiere of Ford versus Ferrari, which is in an hour. So there's a finite end to this, just heads up. Not going to be here all night. Anyway, attempt 4 or 5. Again, we're 1 or 2 mistakes, like small mistakes, or just nitro strategies away from the 6-minute range. Green flag. So 3 boost max off the start. Cars are spawning in less than 100 feet away from me, which is interesting. But I kind of like that in NFS. Like, even in Hot Pursuit 2, when I would do speedruns, I enjoyed the rubber banding AI because it would just do crazy shit if it couldn't keep up with you.
I want this driver taken out.
Heavy braking zone. There's another Dodge Caliber on the inside. So Infinity G35 that almost ended our race early. A couple of cops waiting for us. That's nice. Have a fan club, I guess. Cop cars spawning in less than 20 feet from us. It's alright.
Everyone get that? Word is our troublemakers driving a Porsche 911.
Troublemaker, fuck you. I keep you employed. Don't know who this is, but okay. So there's an AI car in another race that we just blew by. So again, that's the all driving action. Someone else is in a race in single player mode, and we passed that group of cars. Because you're not instanced, you're just in with everybody. So like if someone's in the middle of a career race, which is kind of hilarious, you can just go and troll them. So someone could theoretically come and troll me, but I mean, good luck. And we actually have, I think that's our boy in front of us. Why do I think that's our boy? I recognize the anime avatar, which is probably not a good thing. Forgot to honk the horn at my fellow autist. There, that's a delayed honk. Pretty good run so far, though, aside from being kind of sidetracked with everything going on around me. Keeping up pretty good pace. Almost had our life ended by another Dodge Caliber. Cut through the middle there. Nice little security lift. Oh, fuck. It's sketchy, boys. Hello. Hello. I don't think we lost any time with that. Especially because we just had such a good corner there. Was to get back up to speed, and we haven't used any nitro refills. So this is kind of promising. Do have to be a bit aggressive now to catch back up. Maybe we'll yeet it for a bit here. That was cheeky. Wall rode off a traffic car. Which you can do if you get the angle right. But I'd rather not rely on that. Hello. Asshole just stops in the middle of the intersection. Hello. That's run over. Not even gonna finish that one. Let's go right back to restart. Attempt 6? Sure. That's a rough one to end that one on. I wanted to at least finish it out. But the nice thing is we never used a nitro refill, so we still have 2 of them and don't have to go back to the garage. Green flag. Kind of a shitty start. Got really lucky with parked cars, but we ended up landing in the grass, which kind of sucks. Let's just eat this shit.
We got the hunt back up and running. Look on the sirens and get after them.
Really don't want to burn a boost here. Like, the crazy part is, like, I'm looking pretty far off the distance because you have to, right? And you can see, like, traffic cars spawning in.
Good job finding them. Now don't let them creep away again.
It's hectic, man. Ambitious corner, got lucky the car didn't wash out, hit a traffic car. You know, aside from going on the grass during the opening portion there, not the worst attempt. And hitting that car actually slowed us down for the corner. Got the car to shift down for us, so that might have helped in a way. Got a fellow autist around the corner here. Oh, no. He's going to stick in his own mission, I presume. Car actually stuck through there. Burn our first NOS refill because we'll need it. Holy fuck. Yeah, that car spawns like 5 out of 6 times now. Car will spawn on the inside of that corner, so you have to enter it kind of wide. It's getting hectic. But you know what, having a slope for that forward made it so we didn't wash out over the second of the 2 crests. So not too unhappy about that. Coming up on a fellow autist. Hello, fellow autist. I did honk my horn at him that time, and he could have heard me. Oh, holy fuck! We got lucky. Anyway, so heavy braking zone. Crank it right. Lay on the nitro. Get back up to 300k or so. So there's a traffic car a couple corners ago that spawned inside me, and we just got lucky we didn't hit it. Being a bit more liberal with the boost this time around. Just want to see what I can extract out of it. I personally think the wetlands and the industrial section are the hardest portions of the circuit because, like, it's actually pretty hard to see cars. Just your sight lines kind of get all messed up just by the way the elevation changes work and how dark it is. I do like the ability on the southeastern portion to ride on the shoulder. Big save. Clutch. Another heavy braking zone. There's an ambulance in the preferred line, so we gotta navigate around that. That's a Ford F-150 that we don't need to stick our face on. Hello. Recharge our NOS. Hello, Mr. BMW M2. On the brakes early, don't want to bottom out through here. That's a pretty good line. Happy with that. Into the S's. Ooh, broke a bit loose there, but you know what? We avoided the traffic car. What was it, a Dodge Nitro? They still make those, right? Those Jeep knockoffs. It's gonna be close, boys. No, it's not. It's gonna be a 656. We're in the sixes at what the fuck's this track called again? I don't even remember. Discovery? That's it. A 656 with, you know, I didn't even look, so I'm gonna have to look on the tape delay here. Wow, that's a quick run. It was really fun. And you know what? That was a pretty much perfect run, I'd say. Barring, like, I mean, one or two small improvements. So again, we did that in a, I guess, a Dale Jr. Porsche with my phone number on the front. Fun little car to paint. Easy scheme to paint. The Earnhardt stripes are kind of the bitch. And then I just slapped the generic NFS stuccos on it. I was going to put on the window the control setup and like the car setup I used, just to be kind of a goof like that. But I opted not to because I just wanted to get the stream going. So that's cool. That's a 656 on the board, which there is unfortunately no online leaderboard for this. But I would presume that was one of the fastest laps, if not the fastest lap ever turned at that track. So what I'm going to do now, because we're not done yet, I want to show, obviously we put up a 656 with this car. I want to show the FXXK Evo that you unlock for a level 50 crew, which is supposedly the second fastest car in the game, so I would like to take a lap in that.
good or bad your night was, tomorrow's another day.
So I think the difference, at least at the Apollo 10 circuit, by a guy named I Suck at Driving, who races on keyboard, was only 3 or 4 seconds between the Porsche and the FXXK Evo. So, again, we're going to switch to the FXXK and do a lap or two at the NFS World Loop. Again, I'm going to keep forgetting the name. It's called Discovery or something like that, but every NFS game has just a World Loop, so that's kind of the slang name I've given it. So this is what I painted earlier today. Our clan unlocked the FXXK Evo. I did like a 7-Eleven paint scheme on it that I did for AC like almost 6 years ago, and I just kind of copied it. Again, the livery editor in this game is incredible, and it's so easy to paint something that looks halfway decent in a matter of 10 or 15 minutes. Of course, you kind of have to understand how the layering and all that shit works. But once you do, and once you get your brain thinking in that direction, or if you just have basic Photoshop experience, super easy to manipulate stuff, lots of mirroring buttons, so you can just work on one side of the car and mash RB for all the layers, and it'll show up on the other side. Text options, preset text options, tons of like old school NFS logos, tons of like, what would they use? Like, I don't want to say stock art, but like just like little elements that they used in like Pro Street and Undercover and all the different NFS livery editors over the years, like number plates and just assets are all in there. So again, you can make something that looks really sweet. And this is my 7-Eleven battery shield piece car. I don't think I did that bad of a job on the 7-Eleven logo. But anyway, so this car I completely upgraded. Can you do an engine swap? You can. But I don't know. It's the same fucking engine. Is it not? Yeah. So you can't swap this car out, I guess. But makes sense. I did put a twin turbo on it. You can do all sorts of shit. I've got the twin turbo on it because I know we need it for speed. So, switch to night. We will go spawn at the other garage. I'm stoked. That was a good fucking run, and it came pretty easy. So we will have one shot with the FXXK to set a lap before I gotta leave for the movie. You know what? I'm gonna get there, and it's gonna end up being sold out. It'll be a waste of a night. But whatever. I want to try seeing Ford versus Ferrari on opening night because I know it's gonna be a sweet movie. So again, here's the FXXK, no copy feed because it's NFS. Here's your dash cam. I've already done the setup. It's the same as the Porsche. I made the steering a little more sensitive though because it's a bit heavier and you can afford to. So off we go. So how quick is this car compared to the 73 Porsche? Which is something you would only say in Need for Speed. Off we go. In our twin-turbo Ferrari FXXK Evo. Almost called it a La Ferrari, but I mean it is, right? It understeers like a lot. This is an issue. Fucking with live tuning in the middle of a lap. It's better in the low speed corners. It's not as understeery. I don't know, we'll see. The Porsche's just glued though, and I just don't feel like this is. It's noticeably heavier and less nimble. The speeds I feel I'm hitting are the same though. Again, I suck at driving now that the Porsche is the best car in the game. But I'm just wondering, how does this play out on a 7-minute lap where you have to get everything perfect? Because if they're relatively the same, then I'm not exactly mad. Use our first nitro refill. Really struggling to get to 370. That's not good. And the nose doesn't want to plant as much either, which I know it sounds like I'm crazy that I can feel that in Need for Speed, but it's definitely noticeable. That being said, I think I'm almost enjoying driving this car more because of the weight and because of that understeer. Just like a cunt hair of understeer. Man, it doesn't have that torque that I need. But it is much more planted over, or not. Feels more planted over the crests. And it almost washed out on us there. They just call it a Ferrari race car, that's kinda neat. I mean, I wonder if I could supercharge this and it would go quicker just because of the low end torque. It'd be interesting. Heavy braking zone, wow, it almost washed out on us. Like, the twin turbo is just not doing what I need it to do for the top end speed. Again, I do like the understeer though. It's way more comfortable driving the Porsche. It's not getting a 370. That's an issue. It's a really big issue. Maybe scrubbed off too much speed there, but I need to take that corner safe. Another Dodge Caliber almost cucks us, but we stay in the hunt. Yeah, it lacks top end like the Porsche has, definitely. But handling wise, I think this is the better car. shit show. I have to use a lot of NOS to get to where the Porsche just naturally goes to after a few hits. So it might be worth it to supercharge it. We almost got T-boned by a fellow autist if you looked at the map. Now I did make a mistake here in the Porsche, a small one. So there's opportunity to gain time back, especially with almost no traffic. That's big for us. That's really big for the benchmark anyway. Oh wow, and we are already over the 7-minute mark. Wow. So we're going to clock in at a 7:17 in the FXXK Evo, which is regarded as either the second or third fastest car in the game. Wow. Yep, the Porsche is extremely OP then. Almost by 20 seconds over that race. So if you were to run like an esports contest or something on Speedless, if that ever gets implemented, wow. So we are going to call it a night. I'm sorry about that. But I do want to see Ford versus Ferrari.
It's getting tougher out there.
So, again, we ran a 6:56 in the Porsche. We ran a 7:17 in the FXXK. Maybe I might buy a McLaren and P1 eventually when I save up and do a benchmark on that. But yeah, if you're playing this game, if you're going through career mode or you're just dicking around after the fact, the Porsche with the engine swap is extremely OP, and I'm gonna bring that up here
Half the racers on the street don't
real
even
quick.
remember what we've done for the city.
Just to show you what engine I've got in it. The engine is a 3.6 liter V6, and I forget what comes with the car. It's honestly I don't even remember. Oh, if it's one owned, it is the 2.8 liter flat six. So put the 3.6 liter in, put all the parts to Ultimate, put a twin turbo on it. I think it's a twin turbo. Oh, no, just a regular turbo. And you will fly. Alright. Anyway, that's it for the evening. Thanks for coming along. I might put this into a smaller mega cut. But until next time, cheers. Thanks for coming out, watching some Need for Speed Heat, seeing me choke a bunch, and finally put in a lap under the 7-minute bracket.